Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to go ahead and do a little sit down, get ready with me, chit chat moment. I haven't uploaded in a bit. I've just been busy with life stuff. So if you want to hear all about the life stuff that I've been dealing with lately, stick around because I'm about to get into it. But before I do, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe because it really does help me out a lot and it is always greatly appreciated. And with that being said, let's get into today's video. Hi! Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my hair up and we're going to get chatty. I've missed you guys. I've just been so wrapped up in life stuff that I haven't really had time to film anything, and when I get around to filming things, I don't have the energy to film things. I've been lazy and procrastinating and all that fun stuff, so I'm just kind of like, today's the day. So I'm going to put on a little bit of my Charlotte Tilbury to bring some brightness to these under eyes. I look exhausted, and I kind of am. I've had the past couple of days off, and I've needed it. I started back to work, and it's a good thing, and it's a bad thing. I don't know. It's a little bit of both. You know, it's good to be back to work, income, paying the bills. We all got to do it. But I got a call to work on a film, and it's with someone that I've worked with before, and he's just a really cool guy. And I was asking him immediately, I don't know why, but my brain was just kind of like, is this overnights? And he had said, no, it's not going to be overnights. It's just going to be, you know, I'm going to need help for a week or so because the person who's supposed to work with him had gotten sick. So he had called me up, and I was like, okay, well, if it's not that, because it's something I really try to avoid because it just messes with my head. Even though I worked in Vegas for a couple years and had overnights and dealt with that, it just never really was my thing. Some people can do it and they love it. I'm just not living my best life when I'm doing overnights. And I said, yes, you know, no problem. I need the income anyway. Things are ramping up again. There were a couple months there where things were slow, and that's kind of, you know, normal. It's what happens pretty much every year. A couple months out of the year where nothing is really going on. So I did want the work, but I didn't want to stay up all night. So anyway, we're in the first day and we're working together. We're doing the thing, and it turns out that this is it's a kid-friendly, like, it's supposed to be funny. I'm going to add a little more here. That's what I'm trying to do. Horror movie. Well, horror movies are nights. So it is going to be nights, but it wasn't supposed to be overnights until like after the first week or something like that. So I was thinking, okay, well, this isn't going to be a big issue. I'll you know, do the thing. It'll be fine. And it's just the two of us together because it's not like a high budget program. It's kind of low budget, and you know, we're on location and stuff, and it being the two of us, I have a very physical job, and when you're on location, we load up these carts sometimes, not so much now because of, you know, vid and everything. We work off the truck more than anything, but the carts are still there if we need them, so those things have to be unloaded. Some of them are like over 300 pounds, really heavy on wheels. You need help to go ahead and do it. It's just me and this young kid, and you know, I don't have the upper body strength for that kind of stuff, so that is where I'm kind of lacking. And you know, we struggled a couple of nights with the whole deal because things get really heavy and really difficult. There was a night during this gig where we loaded and unloaded the truck, I think like 4 times, I want to say, maybe more. I was exhausted during the final times when we were loading and unloading and had to load back up again. I was like, oh God, it's like you brought me out here to just end me. It was terrible. We were laughing, but it was kind of, it was a lot, and I was exhausted working this show for the week that I was doing it, and a couple of days the next week when the kid that was supposed to work with my friend came back. I worked a couple of days because they needed the extra help, which was fine, you know, but still, we're getting into the overnights, and we're on location. We're out in this area where it's very woodsy, but there's houses and there's a school. It's this place that used to be like a little town. My neurons dropped. And they don't use it anymore. They rent it out to studios so that people can film there, but it is a fully functional little town where they could be using it for so many other things. I don't know. So it's supposedly haunted, and it was a real trip to be there, and there's parts of it that are like super like campsite-esque, and parts of it that look like a town. It has an old hospital that's there. It was such a trip to see this place. I mean, that's something I really like about my job, is that I get to see really cool areas that I wouldn't know were there if I didn't have this job that I have. So the night that we're supposed to be out doing our first overnight, and I'm side-eyeing my friend the whole time, we're out there in the sticks, and it's getting dark, and it's getting creepy, and it's filled with all kinds of little creatures and fun stuff, including, what are they called, wolf spiders? Anyone ever seen one? I'll maybe pop a photo up here if I can find one. Huge, big, and if you're concerned about spiders and you don't really like them, I don't particularly like them. I understand everything has purpose and meaning, and I don't, seek to destroy them. I just, if they're in the house, they freak me out. I don't know, how else can I say it? So, they're not shy. So you're walking on these little paths that are very poorly lit, and I've got like my little flashlight from my phone, and I pan down to see where I'm walking, and there's like spiders that just kind of leap out a little bit every now and again, and it was scary that night that we were out there. And I was feeling a little nervous, so I wasn't trying to leave the truck that much. And this was the loading and unloading night. This was like, I was getting my freaking butt kicked. It was pretty horrible. So I'm hanging out on the truck most of the night, and we're gearing up to be there till about 7 in the morning or whatever, and it hits about 3, and they stop filming because almost the entire cast tested positive for the vid. Because we test like on a daily or it depends on what kind of production you're on, that they test sometimes every day or every other day to make sure everyone's okay, so that people don't get sick, and they end up shutting it down. So we leave early. I'm partially relieved because I'm thinking, I don't want to do an overnight anyway. I don't want to do it, but it turns out that they were false positives, that the testing was an issue, and the reason why, they figured that out because they came back, they tested again, everyone was fine. And the same thing happened with the kid that was supposed to work on the show that I was working for him while he was supposedly getting better. He wasn't sick, he tested, and it was a false positive, and he's like, I feel fine, everything's fine. So that's why he was able to come back the next week. Yada, yada, yada. I'm like circling back to that just to like tie up all those loose ends. But we leave early. I'm freaking stoked. And then we come back to, finish the deal. And we do end up doing some overnights like the following week when I'm working with with both the kids. We did another overnight where we were there till 7 a.m. And this was in a neighborhood where they had the house all decked out like Halloween. It was really neat. You get to see some, like I said, some pretty cool stuff, some pretty cool places. And we did that overnight, and I was exhausted when the sun was coming up. It was just like, I was just beat. And what was this? This was like day 7 because we'd had the weekend off. And then it was also like a 3-day weekend. It was, I think, during 4th of July or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. So we had a nice long weekend, but still, those days can trash you. So the last day of my working on it, which was the 3rd day into the week or some crap, doesn't really matter. It was my last day working on it, was the overnight, and the day had been done, and we were finished, and we were loading up and all that jazz. And I'm over where they had background. We had a ton of background, and I'm cleaning up, and this kid comes up, and it's me and this lady, and she's doing security, and I'm craft service, so I'm there picking up the trash and trying to, get things together. I want to get on the road. I want to go home. I'm freaking beat, and it's just been a really long night. And he is upset, and he comes at me, and he's just like, how long have you been here? I said, I don't know, like a few minutes. He's like, well, did you see a Hydro Flask? I guess he lost his Hydro Flask. I don't know why he had left his area, because we had like over 100 background, and they'd already gotten on the people mover to go back to parking and all that stuff. And this kid wandered off, and he comes back, and he's like, he was getting really like yelling, like upset, like had I taken his Hydro Flask? And I'm like, oh, no, I mean, I'm literally here collecting garbage. I'm trying to like close things down. I'm trying to clean up. I want to go home. I didn't touch your stuff. He's like, well, how long have you been here? Did you see it when you showed up? Is it in the trash cans? I'm like, no, it's not. Listen, if I wanted a Hydro Flask, dude, I'd go buy one. I have no interest in stealing your things. And really, if you're going to wander off, and you're not around people that maybe take your stuff with you, because we're not responsible for watching your things. It's not like I can't sympathize and say, oh, that really sucks. But at the same time, he came at me all like I stole it. And I'm like, dude, I'm an old woman, and I'm freaking tired, and I want to go home. I don't care about your Hydro Flask. So when he's done grilling me about this Hydro Flask nonsense, he turns to the freaking security lady and he starts going off on her as if she had taken it. And it's like, no one's taken your stuff. No one's interested in your things. We all want to go home. We're tired. So excuse me, have a nice day. Sorry about your Hydro Flask or whatever. So I finish cleaning up and then I leave. He goes off in a huff. He's all upset, I'm sure, thinking that we stole his things, which no. And then, yeah, I closed down with those guys and I went on about my way. And then I also got work with another friend of mine the following week, but it was more like reasonable hours and stuff, and it was super chill, and we all had a great time. It was a bigger group of people, so it wasn't following the total physical part of it, wasn't completely on me, so that was much better for me personally. I would have absolutely gone back and helped my friend if he needed me and done the overnights and stuff with him too. He's such a great kid, and we had a good time. It's just that this was working a lot better for me. Let's just say it that way. So anyway, when I was working with them, I was already like, what was it, like the second day or something like that? I had heard, because we all chat and stuff, and I had heard that they had my friend on the previous job doing an overnight where it was just him and the other young man that I was covering for. I guess they got stuck in another overnight where after a certain amount of time, you have to bring in what they call like a second meal. You know, after like X amount of hours, you got to feed people after lunch because, you know, it's longer hours. You got to keep people fed, keep them going. It totally makes sense. Well, they didn't let him know. So it's like 4 something in the morning. I'm hearing this story and they come to him, I guess, and they tell him, hey, we're going to need a second meal just out of the blue. So this kid's got to figure out where he's going to find food to feed a lot of people. You know, you got cast, you got crew, you got who knows how many background. I don't know what the hell was going on, but they're telling me the story about how this poor kid, this friend of mine, had to go to the store and get stuff to make these little makeshift sandwiches where he was borrowing like microwaves from set deck and all that stuff to like make these sandwiches for people at 4 in the morning. And all I could think was, thank you God that I wasn't there having to deal with that, because I would have just, you know, I'm all for accommodating and helping and all that stuff, but I just would have been like, listen, we're in the 11th hour. If I were king, that's what they call like being the head of the show or whatever, I would have said, listen, we're in the 11th hour. I don't know where I'm going to find, you know, what you're wanting to feed everybody. That's something that you need to you have to let us know before it happens, at least, you know, in a more timely manner than like literally just a few minutes. And I don't know. It was just kind of crazy to hear that story. And I was just kind of relieved that it wasn't me, because I would have been so stressed, but I guess he got through it. And yeah, I think they've already finished, as I'm filming this, I think they've already finished filming that. It was like only a month or, you know, whatever. I think they were going to go with that and then be done. 3 weeks, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but they're close to being done. I haven't heard from him to help out on anything else, so I'm partially relieved. So, and I was definitely relieved to not have to be there for that overnight, because that would have been horrific. 4 something in the morning trying to figure out how you're going to feed a large group of people is like beyond stress. I mean, I would have been having full like panic meltdown. That would have been really, really difficult. I'm starting to look a lot more awake and fresher, and it's fabulous. I needed this. I haven't really been, well, I've done my makeup, but not like a full face. I literally cleaned my brushes in the time that I haven't been filming and stuff, and I have clean brushes here. It's all fab. They've literally just been sitting here clean, but just sitting here because I just haven't had the motivation or whatever in the time that I've been off to go ahead and do the makeup thing, like I said. And it's like, gosh, it's just crazy. I'm sitting here looking at these clean brushes and like, when does that ever happen in my life? So anyway, that's the job part of what's been going on. And then my sister-in-law just celebrated her birthday, and I did go over to the Nordstrom's anniversary sale. I don't know if you guys know, that's going on right now. I'm sure most of you do know. And I was able to find a couple of things, but I had this idea of what I wanted to get her, and it's something that I want to get myself too, that I saw on Sephora, and it's this, I'll pop up here a photo if I can find one. I'm sure I can. It's this shampoo. It's made out of rice water or something like that. It's supposed to be really good for strengthening the hair and lengthening the hair and all that stuff. And that was one of the things that I wanted to get for her. So I'm off to the mall. We're going to go ahead and go over to her house, and family and everyone's going over there. We're going to celebrate the birthday, because it's not only my sister-in-law's birthday, but my father-in-law their birthdays are very close together, so we're just kind of celebrating both birthdays, and you know, all exciting, fun and good. And I had this idea in mind, and I'm really excited because I wanted to get also a tote bag, which I ended up getting. Super cute, but my idea initially was to get the tote bag and to fill it with like the hair products and a couple other cool things from Sephora, and you know, that was like, okay, this is what I'm doing. And so I'm excited, I'm on my mission, here I go, I'm gonna go and find, you know, this awesome tote bag, and we're gonna rock it out, and it's gonna be freaking great. So I get over there and they don't have it. I ended up going to another Sephora too afterwards. I tried a couple of places. It turns out this hair product is online only. I didn't realize, I wasn't paying attention, and I wasn't able to get it, so I had to like think fast and figure out what else I was gonna do. So I wound up, I did walk around the sale and was looking at some stuff, and I got a couple of things for myself. I'm gonna probably do a haul at some point, but it was mostly focused on getting, you know, my sister-in-law stuff. And I got the tote bag and looked at some things, and I ended up getting also a really cool blanket from Barefoot Dreams. I did a video on the Nordstrom's anniversary sale, I think it was last year, and I wasn't super impressed with it then, and I wasn't super impressed with it this year either. It's just kind of okay. I think that it's just really hyped up, like a lot of things. It's super hyped up, and I just wasn't like, oh my God, so great. But I was able to find gifts. I was a little manic panic because I didn't have a backup plan, and I didn't have time obviously to order it online and do the hair thing. So I did get her the blanket, and I have one of those little throws from Barefoot Dreams, and I gotta tell you, they're amazing. Super soft and comfortable and wonderful. Very luxe. A little overpriced for what it is, but I have one and I love it. I got myself one, you know, around Christmas time when they were having, like, again, a little sale and all that fun stuff. But I got her that. She ended up really liking her gift, and we all had a nice time at her birthday party at home, and we all had a nice meal. We cooked and did that whole thing and hung out. So it was a success. It was cool. And then last time we talked, I think I was telling you guys about how my aunt was moving. Where's my eyebrow stuff? And she ended up moving, and we were supposed to go to lunch and do all that stuff. Well, we didn't, because some weeks ago, before I started this gig where I did the scary movie or whatever that I was talking about, Pat and I both got sick with vid. I had not had it since it came out, since all the nonsense started and all the craziness. I hadn't caught it, but he had to go and do a service job and take care of a pool, and he came home and he wasn't feeling good. Turns out that's what it was, and then I caught it. So I didn't get to see my aunt off with lunch or anything like that, because Pat and I were both really, really sick, and obviously don't want to go out and expose other people. It's the one that's like super contagious, basically, that everyone is catching. I gotta say, I wasn't excited about the deal. I thought I was gonna be a lot worse off, and as it happens, thankfully, it wasn't great. I'm not gonna say that it was like all fine and good and, oh no, I was totally fine, I didn't feel a thing. No, I felt like crap. It was pretty awful, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Pat got it pretty bad. He has asthma, so it was kind of, I was a little worried about that. A little is kind of like an understatement. I was worried, but as it happens, he was all right, and we both just kind of made it through. But I didn't get to say goodbye and have lunch and do that whole deal. And my mom had her birthday. I didn't get to visit with her either, so that kind of sucked. But you know, it is what it is. We just had to deal with it and let that be that. So yeah, we were just both sick and home. And also another reason why, yeah, I may have had the opportunity to film, but I was just kind of like, nope, because I don't freaking feel good. So here I am now, and yeah, I got my fresh face. I'm kind of feeling like I want to put a little bit more of a corally looking blush on. I just want to do like a fresh kind of summery face look today. I'm not doing the full meal deal right now. I just don't feel like it, but I do just want to kind of spruce up my face a little bit and have that glowy, pretty summer skin, and just kind of go from there, you know, and just share the story with you guys. It's not so much about doing a full face as it is just kind of looking a little more alive. I work really long hours, so I've just been kind of chilling out and watching my friends here on the platform and watching a lot of TikTok, especially when I'm at work. It's just like I could sit and watch it for, you know, a long time, because you have a lot of downtime, you know, you just kind of hang out and, you know, you're not constantly doing stuff, so you just kind of scroll on your phone. So I've been doing that and watching my friends and all that jazz. But Ow, hair. So that's basically what's been going on, you know, and just kind of, yeah, just doing my thing, and wanted to spruce up and get myself together and go out and enjoy the day, because it's early afternoon, and we're going to be thankfully more in like the 80s, at least, you know, where I'm at right now in Los Angeles, and I'm grateful for that. It's been really freaking hot, and not just for us here, but all over the world. It's just, the state of the world is just completely mind-blowing right now, and that has had me very distracted as well, and my heart goes out to people who are in Europe right now who don't have air conditioning, and they're dealing with a terrible heat wave, you know, climate change, global warming, all that scary stuff that's going on. So and things happening here in the United States, laws and the whatnot. I don't normally get political on my channel or talk about things like that, but there's just been a lot of stuff that I've had. It's just, I've been distracted, clearly. I mean, I'm distracted anyway. I have that kind of brain where I'm just kind of all over the place, you know, normally, but even more so now, because everything is just so intense and strange, and it's hard to make sense of the things that have been going on lately. But yeah, I've just been working and trying to make a living, and definitely keeping track with my friends here, and I just wanted to sit down and hang out with you guys and just share some stories with you, like wolf spiders and all kinds of nonsense, and getting yelled at over a hydro flask. Like, I don't even know what to, I mean, what? It was just weird, you know, among the many weird things that happened to me in my life, and I just thought, why not share that with you guys? So yeah, that's what's been happening lately. This is the finished look. I know it's not glam or anything like that, but I just wanted to do something natural and, you know, chill like this, and I like it. So I'm really just glad that I got to sit down and hang out with you guys and spend a little time and just chit chat, because I've missed you, and I have some other videos that I'm going to work on and get going and find my motivation again, because guys, yeah, I can do it. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching. I really do appreciate it. And I will catch you all in the next one. Bye.